So apparently there's no understanding of what Outlast and Outlast Whistleblower has a meaning to. Yo, this is KMX's Place YT, and I am going to find the meaning of Outlast and Outlast Whistleblower. Like what?
Hey lads, welcome.
Like what are their meanings? First of all, who is Christopher Walker? Why is he so huge, and why does he look the way he looks? And then who is this guy here? This weird-looking old fellow here looks pretty fucked on all occasions. And then what is Billy? What is he supposed to be? Is he like this incoherent spirit of some whatever deaf guy or whatever or something like that? Like did some kind of mental person or something like that? Couldn't kill anybody?
The Outlast Whistleblower explained. In this explanation, I'll be tying up the summary of the game with the conclusion so that we can get a broader picture of what actually happens. Waylon Park is a software engineer working at Mount Massive for the Murkoff Corporation. After several encounters working directly with the morphogenic engine and witnessing the torture that Eddie Gluskin endured, he decides to send an email to Miles Upshaw, reporting on the corruption of Mount Massive. Shortly after sending it, he is called...
Okay, so now we know how Miles got involved. He sent this out and Miles got to it, which caused an investigation for Outlast in the first place. By the time Miles got to it, this man was already fucked, like beyond fucked.
By his employer, Jeremy Blair. As punishment, Blair and Park are committed and forced to endure the tests of the morphogenic engine. However, after the Walrider breaks free and begins causing chaos at Mount Massive, Park manages to escape his restraints, taking a camcorder with him. He roams the facility as surviving guards and personnel try to escape from the newly freed prisoners, trying to find a radio that he can use to contact the authorities. During this time, he consistently eludes a bearded, cannibalistic prisoner named Frank Manera, who wields a mechanical circular saw blade and tries to kill him in many ways, including trapping him in a furnace. Just as Park manages to find a radio, Blair appears and destroys it, insisting that no one can reveal the secret of Mount Massive. He leaves Park to die at the hands of Chris Walker, only for Park to escape. Park eventually wanders into a secluded area of the female ward, where a variant by the name of Dennis, inflicted with dissociative identity disorder, captures and offers him as a sacrifice to a prisoner named Eddie Gluskin, whom he calls the Groom. While initially eluding Gluskin, Park falls into an elevator shaft and gets a piece of debris lodged in his right shin, reducing him to a limp. Park is eventually captured, where he discovers how Gluskin repeatedly tortures and mutilates male prisoners' genitals, treating them like his brides, before brutally killing them.
Alright, that would explain the weird man taking men, cutting them open in between their legs, and practically having sex with them to produce children.
He attempts to kill Park in the same way, but Park manages to escape at the last second with the help of another prisoner who attacks Gluskin. After Gluskin kills the other prisoner and returns to kill Park by hanging him in the gymnasium full of hanging bodies, Park puts up enough resistance so that Gluskin is caught up in the multiple ropes of the pulley system and eventually is impaled by a loose wooden beam. As daylight finally breaks, Park continues throughout the asylum, discovering that Murkoff's paramilitary forces have already arrived at the scene and are killing every person they see. Park manages to elude them as they are all killed by the Walrider, and he manages to make it to the main atrium. There he finds a wounded Blair, lying against the front door and pleading for help. However, as Park approaches, Blair stabs him in the stomach with a glass shard, declaring that no one can know the truth. But before he can deliver the finishing blow, he is attacked and killed by the Walrider. Park staggers out to the open front door and past the military vehicles towards a red Jeep waiting by the security gate. As Park enters the Jeep and starts it up, he notices a dark figure. Miles Upshaw's Walrider-sustained broken body slowly exiting the asylum with a dark mist surrounding it. He manages to escape and slam through the entry gates just as the figure exits the asylum. In the epilogue scene, a fully recovered Park has gotten in contact with a leaking organization to submit his secret information on Murkoff. Park is sitting at a laptop with a video file of all his recorded video from the asylum ready to be uploaded to the internet. A man associated with the leaking website standing...
So Waylon Park and Miles Upshur were in this together. Right when Waylon did what he did, Miles got involved and Waylon had died and was killed by Billy already.
in front of his desk informs him that it will be more than enough evidence to ruin the Murkoff Corporation, but warns Park that doing so will result in Murkoff doing everything it can to punish him in return, including threatening his family. Despite some initial hesitation, Park ultimately decides to take the risk and uploads a video, and the credits roll once he closes the laptop. Hopefully that summary was refreshing for anyone who hasn't played.
Okay, well, so now, who the fuck is Chris Walker? I've been meaning to want to know who the hell is this big ass brute, man? Because I don't even know who this is.
Little pig.
Hopefully we find out who this Chris Walker fellow actually is. There's a lot of history, dark history apparently behind both Outlast Whistleblower, and Outlast 2.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to the first episode of History Behind the Horror. Today we're going to be looking at Chris Walker. We were originally supposed to look at Traeger or even the Wall Rider, but I thought it would be more appropriate to do Chris Walker first because he is the main enemy of the game and he came before the rest of those guys. Also, thank you so much for getting us over 100 subscribers.
Yes, he was literally the first person to attack you while you were playing Outlast. When you were playing Outlast, he was the first person to literally attack you and throw you through a window. So, yeah, he was the first character to attack you. But who is Chris Walker and how did he become this monstrous dark entity in this game?
Already, we just started this channel about 3 weeks ago, and to get already over 100 subscribers are truly amazing. Thank you so much, and if you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment for what you want to see next and a like. Thank you. Background. A document states that Walker's predominant fixation is a manic exaggeration of military security protocol. He claims the flesh ripped from his forehead allows for a truer vision, much like the lizards in their third eye. The removal of the nose and lips was a result of self-mutilation due to extreme anxiety. He is responsible for the deaths of various people inside the asylum, security guards and patients alike, possibly in an attempt to contain the Wall Rider, which Father Martin is trying to set loose upon the world. A note reveals that before being admitted into Mount Massive Asylum, Walker was an ex-military police as well as having toured Afghanistan several times. Characteristics. Walker possesses superhuman strength, able to easily pick up a full-grown man with one hand and even being able to tear someone's head off.
So apparently he was a military officer. We now know that Chris Walker was a military officer, but how did he end up in a psych ward?
Body.
Then if you actually sit and listen to what Chris says, he does say some things that are strange. Like he has possible delirium, maybe, or maybe he's schizophrenic.
He's also surprisingly athletic for his size, running almost as fast as Miles and being able to leap over obstacles to get to him. Although he is very large and blurry, he holds a certain level of intelligence, being able to track down Miles in the darkness by listening for him or checking lockers to see if he's hiding in them.
So practically he's hunting the enemy. So it's like he's been a police officer all over again. And he calls his victims a little pig.
He also seems to display at least a limited awareness of what's going on in the asylum. Walker also seems to keep trophies of his victims, as many heads are seen in the room where the Murkoff PMC is found in.
So after he kills his victims, he just hangs them up.
They killed us. They caught out. The
Story: Outlast. After the security breach, Walker roams the asylum, killing any and all people he sees as potential hosts for the Wall Rider, security and patients alike. Many headless corpses are also seen, mainly in the administration.
So practically, Chris kills everyone for the Wall Rider. Billy wouldn't get to anyone else and escape, so he was trying to keep Billy inside, trying to keep him from escaping.
Block. Thanks to Walker's attempt at containment.
So he was kind of like an asylum guardian.
Heads, and it's also likely the one responsible for impaling
and he
Stephenson
killed whoever
on an
tried to
iron
escape.
You have to get the fuck out of this terrible place.
Pole. Shortly after sneaking into the
The
asylum,
fuck do you think he was trying to do?
Walker for the first time.
He was trying to get information, but at the same time, he was trying to get the fuck out.
As he enters another room. After passing by and attempting to squeeze through a small gap, he is grabbed by Walker, who calls him Little Pig and throws him through a glass pane.
Little pig.
Later, when Walker realizes that the fall did not kill Miles, he breaks into the security room to look for him, but leaves as Miles hides in a locker.
You are here, weren't you? Little pig. I'll find all yours.
Not seen for a period of time, Walker is later seen ripping the head off a security guard in an asylum prison while speaking about containment. Soon after, Miles opens up a decontamination room, which Walker enters and breaks the glass in the control room, forcing Miles to exit through an air vent. Blasted out of a window by an explosion, Miles is pursued by Walker but escapes by squeezing through a barricade. In the sewers, while attempting to drain the water to continue, Walker further hinders Miles' progress, but Miles succeeds in the drainage and escapes down a ladder. Walker doesn't give up, however, and stalks Miles in a large dark room completely filled with waist-deep water, where Miles again escapes using another ladder. Walker once again attempts to kill Miles while he is busy turning on the sprinklers. Out in the courtyard, which Walker is patrolling, he comes very close to capturing Miles, but is unable to fit through a small gap that Miles moves through. Miles sneaks past him on the way to meet Father Martin and attempt to chase Miles one last time after Miles gets the elevator key.
This way! Revelation is at hand!
Miles barely manages to hide from him and rushes out of the hall in an attempt to leave the asylum via elevator.
No, my son!
Alright, this crazy ass old motherfucker right here. What the fuck is he even... How the fuck did he even get out enough to cause all this fucking shit in the asylum in the first fucking place? That's what I want to fucking do. Like, what the hell? This crazy motherfucker.
When it is revealed that Father Martin tricked Miles into entering the underground lab where the Wall Rider host, Billy Hopes, resides, Miles is chased by the Wall Rider back to the way he came. Upon opening a door, Walker
is
grabs
when
Miles
he
and
was
throws him on the
this is when
ground,
Miles
telling
was-
him he won't escape
Miles
this time.
and Walker
utters
were
his
both
nickname
attacked
for
by
Miles,
Billy.
Little Pig, one last time. Unknowingly having put himself in the path of the charging wall rider, he
So
is grabbed and
technically he's
sprawled away
calling
from
Miles
Miles,
a little
slamming into a
pig
wall
because
as the wall rider
he's like a
under
guinea
Billy Hope's
pig,
control
pretty much,
relentlessly beats him
for
against the
this
walls.
Billy.
He growls in rage and agony before being beaten so badly that he can do nothing more than meekly choke. Miles films this as the wall rider lifts him up into the air and files with him through a nearby closed air gate, forcing Walker's huge body through such a tiny area, which shreds his body and spills a massive amount of blood and guts on the surrounding area, killing him.
I saw that. I was like, damn. Now you're running away from Billy. Okay, so now he was running from Billy, but then he was caught, and Billy managed to get him from. Billy was pretty strong. That spirit was strong.
Outlast, Whistleblower. Walker makes a minor appearance
Now
in the
here's
prison block.
Whistleblower.
After Jeremy hears Chris screaming and bashing on a nearby door, Jeremy exclaims, "Do me a favor and die here, Park," before running away. Evading Chris, Wiley then makes his way down several hallways and squeezes through a
This man
tiny
tried to
gap
stop him
impassable
and
by
he
Walker.
was murdered. But Billy. So in a way, he became like Chris Walker and was also murdered.
Couldn't
Billy
just
was
keep
gonna
out.
find somewhere to get out
Couldn't just play along.
and to kill everyone else trying to stop him from escaping.
Do me a favor and die here, Park.
Making his way further down the prison block, passing Father Martin, who is painting on the wall for Miles.
Join me on the battlefield. Lineage 2 Revolution. Download now.
Which reads "Down the Drain." Wyland heads further down the prison block, trying to find a way to the administration block to escape. Just as Waylon finds his way through a dark corridor, Walker reappears behind Park and chases him. Waylon makes his way down the corridors and jumps through a window. After this encounter, Walker is not seen again. Biographical information. Alias: Chris Walker, aka Big Fucking Guy, aka The Soldier. Born 1977. Age 36. Occupation: ex-military policeman in the United States Army. Physical description: gender, male. Height 6'9". Hair color, none. Eye color, blue. Status: deceased. Death: dismemberment by